Hey everyone, it's April 29th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer William Scott Smith, who sexually assaulted and murdered at least 4 young women in the early 1980s, and that is him right up there. Smith was born in Portland in 1959, and I've been unable to find many details about his childhood, other than that he was a high school wrestler before he dropped out of school as a teenager. He took work as a fry cook before he was able to get hired as a long-haul trucker, and spent some time living in Boise, Idaho in the 1970s. As an adult, he stood 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at over 300 pounds, which made him an imposing figure. He first found himself in legal trouble in 1978 when he was convicted of menacing. The following year, he and an accomplice were accused of sexual assault, but Smith was found not guilty despite his friend being convicted and sent to prison. A conviction for indecent exposure came in 1981, and when a 14-year-old girl turned up dead in the area, Smith was a suspect. He decided to return to Oregon, where he started a relationship and got engaged. Shortly after his return to Oregon, a 21-year-old at a bar in Salem stepped outside to smoke and was never seen alive again. Her body was discovered in the Willamette River a month later, and it was determined that she had been strangled. Some speculated that she was a victim of the I-5 killer, later discovered to be Randall Woodfield, and you can scroll down to December 26th to learn all about him, but the circumstances ruled that out and the case went cold. In 1982, an 18-year-old Domino's pizza delivery driver went missing while out on a delivery, and investigators quickly learned that the address to which he had been sent didn't exist, and that the phone number used was from a motel. Her body has never been found. 2 years later, a Circle K employee disappeared while working overnight, and her body was found a month later floating in the Little Pudding River, with the coroner determining that she had been strangled, as in the case of the young woman who went missing from the bar a few years earlier. A sketch artist worked with witnesses who had seen a strange man who'd asked the store about the missing woman and sought to bring him in for questioning. Before they could identify the suspect, a college freshman disappeared, with her nude body being found after 4 days, showing signs of sexual assault and having been strangled. By this time, the police had identified Smith as the suspect and were able to charge him with making harassing phone calls while they put together a murder case. His parents and fiancée came to visit him while being held for the harassment charge, and he confessed to them that he had killed 2 young women. They convinced him to confess to the police, and the state now had their case made. A psychiatrist testified that he was a sexually sadistic serial killer, and he was convicted of 2 murders and sentenced to life in prison with parole possible after 20 years. In 2007, he finally came clean about killing the Domino's driver, and in 2012 admitted to having killed the young woman who disappeared from the bar, and has received 2 additional life sentences. With his time in Idaho and on the road as a trucker, Smith is a suspect in multiple other murders, but as of now has yet to confess or be convicted of any more than the 4 we know about. But I won't be surprised to learn about any additional victims if he ever does. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to William Scott Smith, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.